Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for allowing me to have yesterday off for a little tiny bit of a break. Didn't need it, but it was well appreciated. We got back, well, we didn't get back till like 2 yesterday afternoon. We just went overnight. We left super early Saturday morning. We were down there by 10. We shopped and just hit all of our favorite places. Had a nice lunch, which I had grilled mahi and red rice, which is rice with tomatoes, and I can have tomatoes. Theoretically, the rice was not the best, but it was the best option at the time. It's better than coleslaw with mayonnaise. It's better than French fries for sure. I don't know. I didn't have anything fried. And then I had a salad for dinner Saturday night, and we got up and I had a breakfast burrito, which was not great, but there was it's the low carb option. And I had a Frappuccino. You're my disclosure. I told him, and I got some new nail polish, but I only tested it on one nail, so yes, that one looks different. Sorry. I had one Frappuccino in celebration of me losing a little bit of weight. It's just the tip of the humongous iceberg. But it was not the end all to end all. I was like, this is what I lost any kind of figure that I had, which I've never had. My waist, I have no waistline. It goes straight down. Even when I was a size 2, it was straight down. And I'm only 5 feet tall. So my stomach, which was never flat, even in the thinnest part of my life, never flat. I always had a little bit of a pooch. But my boobs and my stomach are one entity. Because I'm so short. I'm very short-waisted. There's no space. So it makes it look horrendously worse. Even on a good day. That was my only pet peeve as self-image peeve as a child. Well, that and the fact that I was shorter than everybody. And, but because, anyhow, so, I was like, okay, the Frappuccinos are not going to be as hard as I thought. Hallelujah. I had a ginger ale, which I'm not supposed to have caffeine anyhow because of a regular heartbeat thing. And if I drink a soft drink, it's root beer, which has no caffeine, or ginger ale, and Sprite, which have no caffeine. I had a ginger ale. It took me 2 days to drink one of the little bottles that you can get in a gas station. And I'm like, no, don't need that either. Water with a little bit of Crystal Light, which now I have found, because I was working on my menu for this week, which is Diabetes Food Hub, something like that. And they were advertising, which I hope they're not falsely advertising. It's all connected to the American Heart Association and all that kind of stuff. The Mayo Clinic and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully it's legit. Splenda makes little tiny individual bottles of shakes. And as a snack, it said I could get one of those and add fresh fruit or frozen fruit or a combo of the two. No sugar, whipped cream, a little bit of Splenda flavoring, which they have. I've always been putting Splenda packets. I know it's chemicals, I know, but just go with me. My friend in California, she's like, "Why are you drinking that? That's just horrible stuff." I'm like, she goes, "Use brown sugar." I'm like, or use maple syrup or honey. I'm like, I that's not enough. Anyhow, so don't. But Splenda has a liquid thing, like the little drops you can put in water, has that. So I got that, and I got the shakes. And, of course, how anybody that has a low income can afford this stuff is beyond me. That's what's wrong with one of the things that's wrong with the economy. Ooh, today starts the trial of you-know-who. Well, jury selection. Anyhow, so, but that would be like, I would have one of those shakes in the morning with fruit, and then the next morning I would have oatmeal and just kind of flip-flop them. I did a little bit of that last week with low-fat cottage cheese and fruit, but by the end of the week, I was like, I can't. And I like cottage cheese. I just could not get another spoonful of cottage cheese in me. For lunch, I've been having like I can have hummus because beans are full of protein, and garbanzo beans and stuff like that are great. So I got some hummus and sliced vegetables, and I still have some left. I have them in glass containers with a little tiny bit of water for moisture, and they're staying fresher in the refrigerator. And so I'm having sliced tomatoes and a little bit of hummus with veggies. But I only drank half that shake. I was like, I cannot drink all of this. It's very sweet. There's no way. You're supposed to put Splenda flavoring. This is the diet portion of my video. Splenda flavoring, low-fat whipped cream, just a squirt, and the shake, which is very sweet. I'm like, and then a drop of lemon juice, fresh, which I did not put in, and fresh fruit, and frozen fruit, or whatever. It called for frozen fruit, but I put in a combo of fresh blueberries and some frozen stuff, which, I mean, that stuff is $16 a bag. It's ridiculous, the price of groceries. Anyhow, and I'm in the cheap side of the country. I can't imagine. My sister pays a horrendous amount in California. And she's in the middle of well, not as many fruits and vegetables are grown in California anymore. But they go to canning, mostly, like Hunt's tomatoes and Del Monte tomatoes. There's a ton of tomatoes grown, but they all go into manufacturing plants. What else gets grown there? A lot. Peaches go into Del Monte, canned peaches. Almonds. I bought some sunflower seeds with no salt. They were from, which kind of makes sense since Ukraine is like a sunflower huge state, but they were from Moldova and Croatia, and then China. I'm like, what? So I kind of got my stomach curdled with all that, and not with Moldova and Croatia, because a lot of sunflowers are grown in that area of the world. But I'm like, we grow sunflowers here too. Well, we don't have any sunflower seeds here, but what is coming from China in sunflower seeds? So I was like, okay, I threw half of them away. But the good news is I was not overwhelmed by the flavor of a Frappuccino enough to have another one. I had one, and I was afraid what it would do to my stomach, because those things can tear up your stomach depending on your digestive issues. And a lot of people have problems with Starbucks products because of digestive issues. But it didn't work. It did not happen. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. And that concludes our diet portion of the video. Now let's have, so this is water. And we just finished walking. And there's 2 hills. Well, there's 3 in my walk. We kind of walk a New York City block length twice a day. But there's like 2 or 3 hills up and down, or in and around all this. Some of it's dirt road, some of it's paved. You got to get out of our driveway, which is a hill. But this morning I did not walk yesterday. Yes, we did. We went around the block when I got home, but I didn't do the big block. And this morning I just got through. I've already grocery shopped. I've already meal prepped for tonight. Tonight is salmon, and veggies and scallop potatoes made with russet potatoes. They must have less starches and carbs and stuff in them. It said specifically russet, so I got some, and I'm making scallop potatoes, which I dearly love. And of course, it's low-fat cheese and low-fat or no-fat, half and half, and skim milk. So, yippee! But anyhow, no salt. Mrs. Dash goes on everything, which we learned that through my dad, who was a diabetic, but he was this big around. Anyhow, so, okay, haul. I had forgotten I ordered this a while back, and it came from an individual dealer, not through an Amazon warehouse, so it took a while to get here. But again, those of you who think my paper is just as pretty, thank you. And this is Heidi Swap, but it's an old one, 2019, so it was massively reduced in price. And it is a good size, 6 by 8. I can actually leave a little bit of a margin and still have it 4 by 8 in a book. And it's a lot of it is, I don't know if she had this collection named or anything, but it's a lot of like acrylic. There are a couple things that are like patterned. but a lot of acrylic, just swatches of paint, which is designed. Love. I love that. Oh, every page has a little border. I might be able to use those on something too. I mean, not too much of it. I would say less than half is patterned paper, but the rest of it is kind of stuff like this. That looks like it was painted and then scanned. So, I got that. Oh dear, just fell on the floor. Abby Say, C-S-Y, she is a amazing journaler. She's got books. I've got a couple of her books on lettering and travel journals. I joined her Patreon. I know. I went off of a couple other little Patreons that I was doing little donations to. But this is, and she's in Berlin. So I have stuff coming from Berlin with stamps. And she makes these tickets. She's on the design team or connected somehow with Everyday Explorers, because she does a lot of stuff with them. And then this is a postcard, but it's like a picture of one of her journals from Japan. So that was fun. I may or may not continue this. I don't know. A couple of the little tiny versions of Patreon I was donating to, like $3. All you get is a the day before video on YouTube. The next day it's on YouTube for the public. I'm like, I don't mind supporting independent artists. I would much rather do that. But I'm like, I'm not learning massive amounts of stuff from them. I'm using these people for teachers. But anyhow, I do like her aesthetic a lot, and I like her. So I'm like, okay. Somewhere along the line last week, I found a new brand of collage books. Now, I've gotten quite a few of these kind of collage books that you can get on Amazon, and they print them right there in your own distribution center. Like this one is printed in Columbia on April 12th. But this is called Collage Soup, the brand. And there is some wackadoodle stuff in here. It's double-sided, so I will be photocopying it. For my own personal use, I'm not distributing, I'm not selling it, but I'm highly recommending this brand because they have several books. It seemed like, I mean, look at that paper. But this side is the wackadoodle side. I mean, and when I mean wackadoodle, I mean wackadoodle. And that is a very technical term. But it's in sort of like the best sort of comical, good ways. And I mean, that paper right there looks like gorgeous wallpaper. Okay, I talked to my sister this weekend, so now she knows that we are going on a trip in August, and she is the dog sitter. That's why I took her. I was bribing her. It was so funny because she was telling some people that we know down there in one of the stores, and she's like, yeah, I got taken on this trip to be bribed for dog sitting. And they were laughing. The ladies down there were laughing. But, oh my God, some of this paper is just so fantastical. It's superb. And there's different things. This is called the Stranger Than Fiction one. And I don't know these people. Emily Stone and Harper Sullivan. But, oh God, I love this. Love this. Oh, I never thought of making waves with strips of paper. That might be, oh my God, I love that one. Do I see Martians in my future? Maybe. I love that. Just making these strange little creatures would be fun. Oh, here's a great black and white one. Unlike James Burke. Or like James Burke's book that I have that he did like this. Oh my God, look at the colors in this. Weird eyeballs, but look, the colors are superb. Old movie things. Oh, I like that. Like villains in old horror movies. Oh, look at here. That's gorgeous. It seems to be several themed pages of the same thing. So if you don't photocopy it. How to use this book. Unleash your creativity and let it soar. We're gonna soar. Oh, use this coupon code for a free 99-cent ebook filled with hundreds of images and over 20 themes. CollageSoup.com. I don't even know if that's it says 2301, so that might not be valid anymore. I would imagine it's not. But I mean, holy moly. This was on the more expensive end of these kind of books. Yeah, see, here's Pent Nananigans, which those might be like half animal heads and half people. Oh, there's a dog that looks just like Gunner. Then they have Makes You Go, They're all kind of fanciful. Sticks and Stones. Oh my gosh. New to me. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to have fun. With at least this side, for sure. I mean, hello. Anyhow, and then I got these. I have been thinking, these were not cheap either. I have been thinking, this is the cheapest one I could get, which is white, black, red, blue, yellow, and ochre. Yellow ochre. But these are supposed to be the cat's meow. Oh, and then there's some kind of liquid fluid. Oh. They're French. Oh my God, that's tiny. That's tiny. That's the size of my hand. Less than the size of my hand. Oh my gosh. Extra fine. I must have cut myself. I just vacuumed. I must have cut myself on the vacuum. It does not pay to housework. That came from the vacuum. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's very matte. But these are the basis of a lot of colors. And I want to start like taking leftovers of these bottles before they completely dry out and mixing them together and making other shades and putting them in little tiny containers and putting lids on them and then putting in another container with the lid on it so they don't dry out. And kind of like get rid of a lot of these little tiny bottles that have that much in them that are drying out before I can use them. And maybe adding this. But anyhow, this Flash brand is supposed to be fantastical. So I got talked into that. That's all the haul I have. Just plenty. And now let's get started. 17 minutes in. Good grief. I might have to fast forward to this. Otherwise, you guys are going to be here all day. And I think today's the day we start bugs. Bugs. Which, have I been influenced by that book a little? Maybe. So I might get to use some other colors besides nature colors for a change. The weather has been superb. It's 80 degrees out. It is so nice. It's not humid most of the time, which is wonderful. Okay, that was my leg one. That I loved this page. And I saw one of your comments that said that, what did it say? It was my background paper that created such a great piece of this one. And I think you're right. I agree. I love that. But that book paper I had already painted and had it in my stash. So, and now I need to add another thing. A little signature to this book. So, I think I'm going to have to do this. Or maybe I just do this. No, we're gonna do it like this. I'm making this harder than it needs to be. We're gonna do this. And this page and this page, I'll just put something, a filler page in between. So that this can be added in to the signatures. Okay. Now, our next page is this. Bugs on the Move. An innovative technique reveals the flight path of insects in surprisingly artful ways. Okay. This butterfly, found in many parts of the Americas, lives up to its name. It doesn't. Oh, a zebra longwing. Oh, cool. Surely it's not that color. The insect can soar to great heights with just a few beats of its supersized wings. I think that's in the cocoon form. I don't know. North Carolina State University to decode and document insect trajectories. Ornithologist. High-speed video footage taken by Adrian Smith, an entomologist at North Carolina State University. Woohoo! Right next door. Okay. And then I have, I mean, like, it almost looks like, what do you want to call it? Light rays, like neon lights or something. I mean, look at that one. That one's gorgeous. But, okay. This obviously is almost one color. Let's see what our page is, 70. What does our page look like in our second inspiration? I did this one. 68, 69. Ooh, 70. Okay. It's an old paintbrush handle, metal, with paint bristles and twine. Brown. That shape, I love this shape. So can we combine this shape with fluorescent green somehow? I'm not going to put twine on there because it's just going to make it bulkier, and I know where that can go. Or the weave of the twine on the spool. I love this page. I mean, this book is just superb. Just superb. It is so gorgeous. Okay. Yep, 69, 70. That's 70. Okay. Spine of the spool of thread. And I already got my page. Or the shape of that paintbrush, which I love. Let's see what kind of fluorescent green paper we might have that we can either use or enhance what we have and create some. Theoretically, out of this piece of this envelope, because I'm still trying to use this up. Okay, here's green, not fluorescent. Those need to be painted. This is what that page was from yesterday. Sunday for you. It was just a page that I had painted. And just put it in my stash on a day where I was trying to paint. There's some more green from the same time because it's the same color. And here's another one. Apparently, I think it was a day where I had a lot of green paint spilled somewhere. Okay. Ooh, look at this green. This is better. That's the color I'm looking for, which is almost yellow, but fluorescent green. But this is too dark to add that on top of. Possibly. It needed a little bit lighter base. Ooh. 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 Ooh, here's another one. This was done on Procreate. There's a bunch of stuff. Oh, I have this parts of this one left too. Both of these. That section. There. Okay, that's plenty. Because the shape we have is kind of like I could do ovals and lay them on top of each other to create that shape. And then maybe with a lime green Stabilo, come in and draw the shape of the paintbrush overlapping something, kind of, possibly. Let's see what we can do. Let's tear some segments of a caterpillar. Somebody said they liked the sound of my tearing paper. I kind of do too. I will work with some of that. I don't want it to be perfect or all the same. And I can use these and not have them next to each other. And I can put more lime green Neocolor 2 or Stabilo or something on top of them. Somebody's video this weekend I saw where it said, favorite tools, Stabilo Woodies. Like 5, and who knows if they're sponsored or not, and if they're being truthful, but like, I agree. All right, I pulled out some more lime green, but in a different tone, sort of. I banged my hand on that vacuum cleaner somehow. Okay. Does not pay the housework, I'm telling you people. Now, you save all these because these can be turned into legs later, right? Right. All right. I'm not going to tell you where the client is from and where this happened, but as we were walking, my husband got a phone call, and he was talking to the girl that does a lot of the legwork for him now in his semi-retirement. And he said, all right, well, we still need to get a statement on the federal charge of turtles. I'm like, what kind of law term is a turtle? So I took the dog and we went on. And when he got to the house, I'm like, what is with turtles? What does turtles have to do in a law? He goes, oh no. He was importing illegal turtles into the country 15 years ago, but it's still on a federal record somewhere. I'm like, oh. So people, if you want to get a liquor license in the state of South Carolina, make sure you don't have federal charges for turtle importation. And I know you're not allowed to have turtles here anymore. They can't sell them in pet shops. Certain kinds, but the little kinds that you can get for like $1, like what I had when I was a kid, my little turtle named Myrtle, you can't get those anymore. Here, they're illegal. Because I went to try to get one for our granddaughter. At least they were 5 years ago or so. How old is she? 13? 8? Yeah, she was about 7 or 8. And I was talking about my turtle. She goes, I would like a turtle. I'm like, well, let's go get you one. So we ran to like Walmart. At that time, Walmart had fish. Now they don't have any of that stuff anymore. And at least ours don't. They said, no. I was like, where are your turtles? She goes, oh, we can't sell them in South Carolina. What? Okay. Love that. Now, I'll come in and add color to the white edges. In fact, what are the colors? Oh, there's a little black. So maybe I'll go around the edges in black. Because it is called a zebra. Something or other. A zebra longwing. And then somehow we still need to get a paintbrush under here. What do we have in this little bag of tricks? Apparently this is going to be a longer video. Oops, what's this? Nope, that's not quite white over. Let me get my other box. Trying not to infiltrate into the other boxes because I'm trying to use up stuff as I go. But it doesn't always work. Alright. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. This page has this muddy color. We could do like that. Okay. Now, these pages looks like they started out as like brush clean off pages, or I was just sitting here one day listening to music or something and just started slinging paint around. And look what it does. Oh, it almost looks like a tree. Okay, here's our paintbrush, right? Right. Hold on a second. It doesn't have to be perfect. And again, these are theoretically I can go back, possibly. This is going to be a challenge to myself. Now, instead of using books as inspiration, use these sketchbooks as my inspiration. And the man next door just started his lawnmower. Okay, that's okay. Last night I was looking at my videos for messages and stuff, comments, and I heard my husband's telephone ringing. I'm like, why is he not answering it? It was on the video. Jeez. So, now in the picture, it's going diagonal. Maybe I don't make it diagonal. So yeah, I would go back in and paint these shapes. Maybe combine 2 pages and just use shapes, not necessarily the colors. Oh, this is going to look good when I add the black around the edges. I think I'm just going to do this. Which direction is the paintbrush handle going? Is it on the top or the bottom? Okay, the handle's on the top. Do I do something like, or squish them closer together? And do this. And then if I were to come back and this may not be how it works, but use this as inspiration. I could like pick shapes off of 3 pages. Like I'm doing 3 inspirations here. And then, you know, combine 3 different pages, the shapes, or 3 different pages, the colors, or all legs, and use tons of different colors. The possibilities are endless. But I think we're going to do that. And then we're going to add black Stabilo. Oops. I got to keep them in order of the way I had them laid out because they're kind of all different the way I had them. That one does look like a zebra. A zebra long tail. Now, there's going to be a little bit of seamage here that I'm going to have to work with. And this is actually a thicker piece of paper here. But this is a thin piece, so that's good. Okay, that'll go over the fold. Oh, I mean, look how gorgeous that is. And that's like a combination of, this was a Procreate one that I did from like 2 or 3 of the things that I've already done. And then I just blended a lot of the color and swirled it around. But when you pick out sections of it, I mean, isn't that gorgeous? I think it is. Doesn't really show the pretty colors in the right light for you guys. Huh, it's more green, more of a beachy color green. Huh, that's interesting. Anyhow, so yes, I mean, it's like that collage book that I just bought. Don't have to use the whole page in its totality. You can pull it apart. Okay, I got this right over the fold. Or alongside the fold. Might move this over just a smidge. Just to make it a little bit less lumpy left. All of my books always have a lumpy left. Okay. This is not glued very well, apparently. Oh, it's because it doesn't like to glue to acrylic paint sometimes. Certain papers. Now I'm going to squish this guy in because we need our paintbrush. I love that. It's just, I don't think of this on my own. So I need, whether it's inspiration on shapes or colors or this kind of stuff, helps me compile data. And the best, I already got goobers on my nail polish. Oh no, it's coming off. Okay. I love that. Okay. Now, in hindsight, I have said this several times already, but it's really true. I would not have used this yellow paper for this project, but that's okay. That's okay. It's working as a neutral more and more as we get into it. I didn't think yellow would be neutral, but hello. Here we are. Oh my God, now this looks like a caterpillar for sure. And I'm going to wet these. I probably should be doing it wet to begin with. But alas, my water's filthy. No longer blue, but it's brown mud. Boy, going through some of the swamps and stuff on the way to the coast, there's a lot of standing water. Mosquito heaven. And water moccasin heaven. We just stayed in our little car and kept on driving. They had a huge parade here yesterday for the girls basketball team at USC because they won the tournament for the second year in a row. And we had to avoid, because I usually come through downtown, especially on the weekends because it's quieter. Less truck interference with my driving lane issues. But I'm like, oh, we can't, because they were having the parade at 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh, we got to avoid. So we went through the other side of town to get to our side of town. Oh, I love that. And I even like how some of the black is smeared across the edges here, which I think I'm going to do more of that and have gaps in it. I'm purposely exaggerating all that. Oh. I love that. I really like how it went out here. So let's see if we can exaggerate some of that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And when it dries, superb. In my opinion. I love that. It's coming in either it surpassed this by barely, or it's a very close second. I don't know yet. I love this one. It's just a combination of colors. But we're starting to get into some bright stuff. All right, quickly, let's see what we have for tomorrow. I can move all this without getting wet everywhere. That needs to dry. Okay, tomorrow, I think is right. Oh yeah, this one. A yellow collared scape moth. Sometimes can be seen around North America flying during the day with its iridescent black and white wings that shimmer in sunlight. I don't know if this is like under a microscope. I guess I should read the rest of it. It said it was some kind of high-speed video footage. So it must be clips. I don't know. It looks like it's wire art to me. Okay, so this one has pink. Almost like a stunted violin shape, sort of. And it's page 72, I think. 73. All right. Which I think, some of these are not named. 77, 76, 75, 74, 73. Okay. Oh, another paintbrush handle, which we're not going to do. I love the pieces of torn paper on the top like this. That's what we're going to do. But these bottles remind me of my bottles. I saw somewhere on Martha Stewart 100 years ago, she had collected sand from around the world and put it in little tiny old medicine bottles like this and labeled it. I have dirt from many, many places around the world, including Israel, that I smuggled home in a suitcase and is in all these little bottles. Oh, I haven't had them out in a while. I think it's time to put them out again. But I have all these little tiny antique medicine bottles. If I find them at antique shops, I get them. And then I put my stuff in there. It's just a little tiny bit. Just a tablespoon at the most. But I think what I'm going to transfer from this image is this piece of this paper at the top here. I love that. Somehow with this. I don't know how it's all going to work. But that's for tomorrow, Scarlett. I don't know. Okay. Fun. Thanks for letting me babble for this long. 40 minutes. I'm so sorry. Put me on fast forward. I'll stop talking. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.